Hi, it's David here. Well, it's obviously not Sarah. It's David here. I thought I'd talk a bit about the guy's side of IVF or ICSI that we're going through. By the way, what I will say is, like, you're going to feel this from me, but the guy's side, in my opinion, like, is nowhere near what Sarah's doing. Like, the physical stuff that Sarah's having to go through, and to the extent I've been of the opinion of, like, I just give a sample. Like, I turn up and I go in a wee horrible room, do my thing, and then that's it. There's more to it than that, but like I said that to the nurse the other day, I feel like my part in this is so different. Like, Sarah has to go through all these jags, all that kind of stuff, the egg retrieval, the I'm forgetting words, the embryo transplant, all that kind of, there's so much stuff happening physically and all that kind of stuff, and like I just kind of go along, but there is more to it than that. I've turned into like Uber protection, like I've turned into like Sarah's personal bouncer. Like, I'm cancelling all our plans and doing different things because I just don't think it's right for us to be putting ourselves in any risk. We're paying a lot of money, and we're doing there's a lot going on right now, and I'm just making sure that there's nothing silly happening. Unfortunately, that means cancelling gigs, cancelling holidays, cancelling time away. But it'll all be worth. Well, I'm hoping it's all going to be worth it. We're being really positive. We're doing everything we possibly can. We're not going a cheap approach. Anything that we can do that's the right thing to do, we go for it, and it's going to be good. But I'm going to be administering all the jags for Sarah and things like that. I'm a bit nervous about giving her the jag. What if I do it wrong? There's one jag that, like, you've got a 5-minute window, and if you don't do it, you've basically wasted the whole thing. So, like, putting that pressure on myself, I know that's not strictly true, but it does waste a lot, and there's like dire consequences if I don't give this specific jag on time. So all that kind of stuff is on my mind. But honestly, mostly it's just protecting Sarah, making sure she's all right, running about after her, wanting to do things. I've got a load on my mind financially. Last Friday, I thought I was only paying for like the planning appointment, and they phoned up and they wanted like the bulk of the money. So we're not really hiding from the money, right? So when I'm talking about this, it's not as if I'm talking about flashy cars. I'm talking about this, but they wanted like about $9,000 off me there, and there's still a bit more to go. And like, I wasn't ready, but I had it, but I wasn't ready. So like, when they phoned and done it, I paid it, and then like last weekend, my mind was gone. Like, I couldn't get out of my head about like the amount of money I had just spent. And I had, although I've been this has been in plans for months. Couldn't get out of my head. And I'm fine now. I've made a few balance transfers and done loads of different stuff. We'll talk about finances in another one, but that got on my mind. But it's like getting everything ready financially, and then in my head I'm like, well, we're putting ourselves in a wee bit of debt to pay all this, and I don't want, if a baby arrives in like say a year's time, once everything goes, I don't want to be in a position that like we're skint. So I'm like, do I take on our job, all that kind of stuff right now? So Sarah's just walked past. She shook her head at me there because she's in a bad mood that I keep saying that. But like, that's what's on my mind. Like, go and do something. I want us to be like comfortable. I've got a good job. Like, I'm really lucky. But even then, I'm like, well, maybe want to go and earn a wee bit more. Not a new job, second job, I mean. But that's all the stuff that's on my mind. There's a lot going on that way, as I say, financially, but that's the least of my worries right now. As I say, I'm mostly concentrating on Sarah, who's just walked in, and making sure all that stuff's right. So I'm maybe a bit over the top.
I'm not complaining that I'm getting wrapped in cotton wool, and I'm not complaining that you're running about after me, because who doesn't want that?
But I'm going to be probably a bit strict over the next 12 months, but in a year's time, like a year and a bit's time, if we're sitting with a baby, it's all been worth it. So yeah, that's what's on my mind. It's a bit scary thoughts from my side. And as I say, I wanted to talk a bit about the man's perspective. There's not a lot of men talking about it out there, and that's fine. And I'm not coming on here and being like, equal rights, the men have to talk. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just putting a wee voice out there. Like, I know that there's more to it than that idea of I turn up and give a sample. Like, that's a understatement of what the male. I also get, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it has to be males and females. I'm digging myself a hole here. Get me out of this.
Bye!
So, I mean from the perspective of the person who's not the patient.
Donating.
Sarah is officially known as the patient, I am the partner. So this is the video from the partner, and there's not a lot of probably videos from the partner. So I wanted to give that a voice, but the patient is the patient. So Sarah's doing a digging motion. I'm not allowed to video though, because she's come in for work and put her jammies straight on. So, but yeah, can you turn the chips?
Yes.
Right, I'm digging holes. That's it. Thank you. Bye bye.